Hi everyone. It's October 10, 2010. I'm Dwight Schmuck. This is the Schmuck Look. And we're going to call this one today a bit of doublespeak. Thank you, George Orwell. And, honest to God, folks, it is straight out of his book. We have doublespeak going on today in this world, more so than ever before. Honest to God, folks, 1989 or whatever be damned, we got it going on now. And I'm referring to, a couple weeks ago I was talking on the phone to a very good, very old friend of mine from way back in the old days in the hills of Pensy. And I've mentioned that I read the New York Times faithfully on the electronic, thing on the computer here. And he said, well, I don't read that. It's, it's the liberal viewpoint only. And I've been thinking now for about 2 weeks here, exactly when did liberal become a dirty word? And during that 2-week period, I've really also been watching an awful lot, looking at the various advertisements of the Republican and Independent and Tea Party candidates, and they're espousing the conservative viewpoints of our forefathers, and this is where we get into that Orwellian doublespeak thing, because our forefathers were anything but conservative. Hell, if they were that conservative, we'd still be British subjects, wouldn't we? Because that's the conservative thing. Let's go with the status quo. Don't make waves. The East India Tea Company would still be one of the premier business forces buying and selling politicians all over the globe, if that were the case. However, our forefathers had the foresight to do the Tea Party thing, which involved throwing a slew full of cases of untaxed tea into Boston Harbor. I imagine it gave the little fishies a little caffeine buzz for a while, but other than that, no great environmental damage. But it certainly showed an anti-conservative viewpoint there, wouldn't you say? I would say it even goes beyond progressive into radical. Oh, dear Lord, can you imagine another one of those dirty words, radical? Because, on top of, progressive being a dirty word now too, because liberal is, and, well, progressive even sort of, kind of, maybe takes that a step further, and radical promotes, says, okay, if no other way is around it, violence will do. And the Boston Tea Party was a radical thing for their time, or for ours, lest we forget. Again, yes, I'm highlighting some of that doublespeak, because we got a slew full of that going on. I'm not an Obama fan by any stretch of the imagination, but I do find it curious that the biggest guys who are, Obama did not save the world with his change, and, the health care reform thing broke down, and yada, yada, yada. Well, you know what? Barack Obama inherited the mess from your guys. It isn't like the Dems came in there and started it all. It was George Bush, with Dick Cheney's hand up his butt like the little finger puppet, and that's what they did, gave us all the finger for 8 years. Vietnam is to date, America's longest running war, police action, whatever the hell you want to call it. What do you want to bet Iraq, Afghanistan, the Mideast is going to be the new one for the record setting, because these guys show no signs of getting out, even though we are obviously not doing what we proposed to do. I mean, like I said, a couple of weeks ago there, we have several $1 million worth of laptops just disappeared. We sent them over there to win the hearts and minds, and instead they've been turned into money by corrupt, thieving politicians and their cronies. The bureaucrats. Bureaucrat being a lesser form of muskrat, their pelts just aren't worth near as much. But they're bottom feeders. Face it, they are. You know it, I know it, we all know it. I'm the schmuck who'll say it. But again, with the Orwellian doublespeak thing, I'm a liberative myself. Some things I'm very conservative on. It's not my business. I shouldn't be into it. Like abortion. On the other hand, my tax dollars should not be going to pay for it either. Sorry, you can't have both sides of the street. Either you say, it's my business, it's the way it is, okay, fine, I can live with that. That's the conservative viewpoint. It's your business. No problem. But now you want me to pay for it? Wait a second, darling. I didn't get to see you naked. In most cases, this is a good thing. But I'm not going to pay for your care in that department. You want it, you got it. It's like a Cadillac versus a Volkswagen. You want it, you pay for it. I shouldn't have to. It's that damn simple. And, okay, it's an unwanted mouth to feed and yada, 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 but, it'll prevent number 2, won't it? Or help along that way because you got careless once. Well, here's your lesson too, darling. Let's make sure you don't get careless again. I shouldn't have to pay for your mistake in that area. Again, the Orwellian doublespeak, both sides of the issue. Because why? Well, there's money there. And here's the Orwellian part of it all. As long as the kids on top can keep us kids on the bottom at each other's throats, and I've said this for a long time, but let's bring it all into context. As long as the kids on top keep us kids on the bottom at each other's throats, you're going to have this. The Orwellian doublespeak promotes it. And that's how the kids on top get to stay the kids on top. They don't mean at all what they say, because if they did, we wouldn't have these problems, would we? It's coming up to election time. It's time to get rid of the lying sons of bitches. Any one of them who engages in the least bit of Orwellian doublespeak, it's time to show them the road. Hit the bricks. We'll get somebody new in there. And the first time we catch them lying, well, the next election, they're gone. That should take about a week. I'm Dwight Schmuck. That's today's Schmuck Look. Peace out there.